Okay, welcome to part 2 of your virtual classroom. We're doing HTML, and we had just set up our computer so that we can have a simple text editor to start typing in our HTML tags. We went back to our Schoology account. We're in our engagement folder. Here's the basic website instructions, and we're just gonna type these tags. That's what they're called. When you see the less than, greater than sign with words in between, that's called a tag. We're going to type these tags in our text editor, and that's going to allow us to create a web page. So let's get started. First things first, you have to put in your less than and greater than signs. Everything in between is the tag, and you'll notice that I'm typing it in capital letters. You don't have to type it in capital letters. You could use lowercase. I like to use capitals because it separates itself from the actual content that I actually want to see. More importantly, notice I just hit enter to put the next tag on its own line. Both of these tags could have been on the same line. For instance, I could type my next tag right next to the old tag, so that they're all on the same line. I could put everything on one line. The computer doesn't care what this information looks like. But to make it easier for me to see, so if I have to go back and check to make sure I didn't make any errors in spelling, or if I didn't put in my less than or greater than signs, I like to put my tags on their own line. So that's why you see things on their own line. So now I'm just going to type in the content. This is the information we actually want to see the computer use. We talked about open and close tags. That's a close tag. When I put in this / in front of the same tag, it makes it a close tag. So this is the open tag. This is the close tag. These are open tags. They don't have close tags yet. I'm going to put them at the bottom. So I just wanted you to understand that. And again, I'm only putting this information on different lines so that you can easily see the difference between the tags and know where tags are. So that's my closing tag. This is the header section. The header section begins to define the outside of our web page. So this title tag is what's going to put information on the tab right here at the top of my actual web page. That, of course, isn't our web page. This is the tab. This is the title for the editpad.org web page. So that's what we just created for our web page. We've created this tab right here. So let's keep moving. So that was the header tag. So now we're going to get to our body. This BG body BG color. That stands for body background color. If I want to put a color on a tag, this is how you would do it. And they got hexadecimal codes. That's what I'm putting in right now. This FFF is hypertext markup language to the computer, which tells it, hey, this is the color I want to use. So that's actually a color that you just saw. The color is called FFF. We'll get into that later. So let me just finish this up. IMGSRC, which stands for image source. So when you want to put a picture, you have to put an image source and then equals, and then you name the picture. So we should have, we don't, but we should have a picture named clouds.jpg. I'll show you what happens when you put in a picture name and you don't actually have a file saved as clouds.jpg. But what I really want you to know is image source. This is the important aspect to creating your web page. All right, so we have our image source. Now I'm going to put in a tag called HR. HR stands for horizontal rule. That is a line that's going to go all the way across my web page. And underneath that line, I'm going to put in some text. I'm going to put in send me mail at, and here's the code ahref equals, and you know what? It doesn't have to be capitalized. So I'm going to show you how lowercase also works as your code. Mail to support. Here's that @ symbol I talked to you about in my podcast. Your company.com. quote, put an end on it. There we go. Here's the actual text you will see: support at yourcompany.com. This will all make sense later. But what I really want you to pay particular attention to is just the tags, the open and the close tags. I need to close my body tag. And I need to close my HTML tag. Again, purposely, I'm going to leave this lowercase just to show you that it doesn't matter. But for visual purposes, it really helps to have some capitals and lowercase. So now, I've made a web page based on this site. Let's see if I can make this bigger. I don't need the other page anymore. So with this site, I have my text, and you'll notice in the bottom it says download and save. So fine, let's click it. We've downloaded and saved it. There it is. It's called text1.txt. I need you to understand the suffix. Suffixes are things that are at the end of a word. That .txt means this is a text file. We want to make it an HTML file, and that's what we're going to do. So with my text saved, I'm going to remove my browser because I don't need that anymore. On your Chromebook, you have to go to your downloads drive. So for me, I go to Finder, I go to Downloads. There's my .txt. If I click on it, now I'm going to double click with the fingers, and I'm going to rename this. I don't want it to be a text file. So I'm getting rid of the .txt. And I'm going to call it index.html. So now I've renamed this document. They're asking me, hey, you sure you want to make this a HTML file? Because the HTML file is completely different than a TXT file. So yeah, we get HTML. And now that it's HTML, when I double click on it, it opens in my web page. This is the web page we just created. Remember with our code where it said your title here? As a matter of fact, here's our code. Let me open this. Notice how I pulled that down and opened it. In our header section, we said in the title, we're going to put your title here. Here's our title tab, and it says your title here. We had a tag that said horizontal rule. This line going across our entire page is the horizontal rule. Send me mail at supportyourcompany.com. At supportyourcompany.com. And that should be a hyperlink to my mail. Why is that not a hyperlink? So if I go back to my actual code, and I can, I made a mistake, and it should be first, that should be a space here, image space source equals, and send mail to a space href equals. So I missed some spacing and I had some issues, but now if I save this, so download and save. Remember, now that I've downloaded and saved it, it's going to be in my downloads folder. So I'm going to go back to my downloads folder. There it is, but it downloaded and saved it as text.1. So I'm going to rename this. There it is. Oh, I need to double click to rename. Let's go to rename right here. And let me see, why is it not letting me? There it is. And now I'm going to name this page index2.html. Says you want to use HTML? Yes, I do. Let's double click. Here's the new page. This is my old page. Let's get rid of here. Didn't have the link. My new page. Now that image, remember I told you that if we had an image and we saved it as clouds.jpg, it would show. But since I don't have an image called clouds.jpg, I have this sign that says, hey, you should have an image here, but something's wrong. We'll fix that later. Also, my HTML. If I click, I can actually go to Google and send the HTML to that person. That's a link a hyperlink that sends me to my HTML page, to my email page, so that I can send emails to people. Hey, that's the simplest web page known to mankind. We just made it. We're going to make a ton more later, but I wanted you to see how to use the text editor, how to write the code, and to get started. So talk to you soon.